Welcome everyone. My name is Svarnyk, and I will be your instructor today in our session of chakra meditation. And our topic today is the left channel. So in our session today, we will begin with guided meditation just to get us into the proper mood, to the proper state. And then we will have a bit of an introduction about the left channel. What is the left channel? How does the energy flow there? And what does it do? What is the purpose of our left channel? How does it function when it is well balanced, when it is in a good shape? And then we will have another guided meditation where we will actually work on balancing the left channel. So we will try to apply in practice some of the tricks about how to balance this channel. Then we'll finish with our usual next steps. If there is time, we will have Q&A. So let's see how this goes. And we will start with our meditation. So please sit comfortably. Adjust the volume of your device. And let's start. So we will start with this exercise. Most of you probably have done this already. If you haven't, we will all together do it by following this video. And this exercise is meant to bring us into sort of the first preparatory step to get us into meditation. All right.
Sit comfortably on a chair and relax. You may close your eyes if it helps you to relax and focus. Now, focus your attention on the top of your head. The goal is to raise your inner energy to the crown of your head and tie it up. As the energy rises up your spine, it will gradually shift your consciousness into the state of thoughtless awareness. To raise your inner energy, first place your left hand in front of your lower abdomen with your palm facing your body. Then slowly raise your left hand to the top of your head, and as your left hand is ascending, rotate your right hand around it in a clockwise direction, swirling around and around until both hands are above your head. Now, imagine that you are tying a knot with a short rope, and using both hands, perform the gesture of tying a knot above your head, as if you are actually tying up your inner energy. Now, lower both hands, and starting with your left palm facing your lower abdomen, repeat this process of raising the energy and tying the knot 3 times. The second time, tying 2 knots at the top of your head. The third time, tying 3 knots at the top of your head. This technique will help focus your attention and raise your inner energy to the crown chakra or energy center. The goal is to raise the energy, achieve a connection to the universal cosmic energy through your crown energy center, and establish the state of meditation. Now, you want to form a shield of protection to protect your subtle energy system and to preserve your ability to remain in the state of thoughtless awareness. First, place your left hand on your lap, palm upwards. Next, place your right hand beside your left hip. Slowly raise your right hand over your head and sweep it down the right side of your upper body. Then sweep your right hand back up the right side of your body, over your head, and down the left side of your body. Repeat sweeping your right hand up over your head and down 7 times to form a shield.
All right. So this is An exercise that helps us bring our attention, first of all, to this level, the level of our topmost energy center, and establish our attention here. So what we can do if our attention is still a little bit all over the place, we can place a right hand on top of our head. And here we can ask our own inner energy, please come to this energy center. And please bring me into the state of meditation. All right, we can place our right hand back on our lap. Now let's see whether we can keep our attention on top of our head. If you want, you can close your eyes. Now let us see what is our state right now. Let us observe our attention. Let's see whether our attention is staying on top of our head easily, or maybe it is wandering off. Maybe we are being distracted by thoughts. Then we can just observe what those thoughts are, if any. But let's try not to enter into the conversation with our thoughts. Just let them go by. Now we can place our right hand on our heart. Keep our left hand open on our lap. And our heart is the seat of our deepest and purest self. A pure awareness that in some cultures has been called as a spirit. And here we can ask inner energy, please come into my heart. Please enlighten my heart. Please awaken my deepest self, that purest self that I have within my heart. Now let us bring our right hand to the left side of our neck You can place it in the corner between neck and shoulder. We can slightly turn our head to the right, just so that we are comfortable. And here, with full confidence, we can say, inner energy, I am not guilty of anything at all. At least at this moment, I'm not guilty of anything at all. Here we don't need to think about anything in particular. We just want to set aside any events in the past that might be clinging to us and preventing us from fully establishing our attention in the present moment. Inner energy, I am not guilty of anything at all. All right. We can now place our right hand across our forehead. These are the steps that we often do, because these tend to be the energy centers that go out of balance very easily in us. So here, at this level, can silently say within, inner energy, I forgive everyone. And I also forgive myself. Inner energy, please establish the quality of humility within me. All right. Now we can place our right hand on top of our head. Can apply a little bit of pressure. And we can rotate our scalp in a clockwise direction. And while we rotate our scalp, massage the top of our head, can ask, inner energy, please establish my self-realization. Inner energy, please establish my self-realization. All right. Now we can lift our hand, maybe 10-15 centimeters above our head. Let's see whether we feel the flow of energy from the top of our head. We might feel it as a cool or warm breeze. All right, now we can place our hand back on our lap. Let's see whether we can keep our attention on top of our head, but without forcing it. And let's see whether we can stay without thinking, even for a short time. All right, now we can slowly open our eyes. So, our topic today is the left channel. Now we have 3 energy channels in our system. This is a basic, very basic intro. The left channel is the blue channel that you see here. And we have the right channel, the yellow one. And then we have the center channel is the white one, right in the middle here. So these 3 energy channels have their own specific jobs, right? They are responsible for supplying energy to our organs, but they also are responsible for regulating our sort of daily life. And so the left channel that we will talk about today a little bit more, it starts right at the base of our spine in the first energy center. And you can see the first energy center is below the sacrum bone. The sacrum bone is the place where our inner energy resides. And so this energy center from which our left channel starts supports the whole system, supports the whole tree, you can say, of these energy centers that are placed along our spine. And so the left channel runs from the base of our spine along the sort of left side of our spine, and then at the energy center number 6, it crosses over to the right hemisphere of our brain. So here in the right hemisphere of our brain, it sort of ends in a dead end. Now you will notice that the right channel also ends in a dead end in the left hemisphere of our brain. Doesn't go anywhere. Both of them are sort of are a closed system. They don't lead anywhere. It's only the central channel that actually goes through and then pierces our 7th energy center and then connects us to the universal energy when it is activated. But the left channel is very important because the left channel is the channel of our desire. It is the channel of our feelings, our passions. And so it is really the left channel that gives us this sense of wanting something, the sense of trying for something, the sense that we actually want to become more, we want to grow, we want to become something. We want to be good, we want to enjoy life in the end, right? So if our left channel is not functional, then we do not have any desires left in our life. And our life becomes very dull and sad, really. So generally, the quality of the left channel when it is functioning well is the quality of joy. It is the quality of this emotional lightness. It is the quality of really treasuring your life and being able to appreciate everything that happens in your life. It is a really beautiful quality. Now, what happens when the left channel becomes out of balance is that instead of having that appreciation and the joy in our life, we start drifting into very dark and sad place. And often it happens if we, for example, have desires, but our desires are not fulfilled. Or if we are always sort of looking back into what happened in the past, but are missing out on what is possible in the present. So if we are always stuck carrying our past around, there's nothing we can do about our past. We cannot go back to our past if it was good. We can also not go back and correct it if it was not good. And so the left channel, when it is not functioning properly, has this tendency of dragging us towards our past and making us prisoners of our past in many ways. So, you know, it's really both the right channel and the left channel. They have their positive qualities, but they also have their tendencies. And so the left channel has a tendency of freezing. It is a moon channel. It is a cool channel. So especially in the winter, it might become a little sluggish. And it sort of makes us depressed if we are not functioning properly. It makes us lazy. It makes us want to hide in the corner and not do anything at all, right? And just sort of to sulk and to be sorry for ourselves. Now, what happens often also, especially at the level of the ending of this channel, here we have this balloon, and this balloon is called superego. And superego is all of those I don't know, complexes, we could say, if we use psychological terminology, but or all kinds of mental habits that we develop. And often what it does, instead of actually helping us, it tends to collect a lot of self-defeating kinds of thoughts. So if you notice that whatever you sort of, when you have a little glimpse of, okay, I want to do something, and you tell yourself, oh, but I can't do this. I'm not good at this. I'm good for nothing. I always fail. I'm like this, I'm like that, I'm like that. I am not good enough. I cannot succeed. That is the sign that your left channel has gone a little bit too far, and you are getting all of these negative thoughts and negative evaluations of yourself from that superego, right? From that balloon that has grown too much. Right, so now what do we want to do with the left channel? We want to actually balance it. So we want to, as much as possible, avoid being stuck in the past. We want our left channel, as well as the right channel, to become as close as possible to the center. And then what happens is, when it's close to the center, then really it has this capacity of flowing with beautiful feelings, with beautiful emotions. And it brings a lot of joy into our life. Our left channel is also, the energy of the left channel is the energy that comforts us, makes us feel good, it makes us feel safe, it gives us ability to rest, to sleep. So all of these things are extremely important for us. Those are the things that, when they function properly, they make it possible for us to actually live life and enjoy life. Now, let me go to the next slide. Now, what you can do is you can always go to our website, and here in this particular spot, you see the link to in the menu to the energy system. And in here, we have, this will drop down, this menu, and you will see all these options here. So you will have the left channel here, right channel, central channel, and then all the energy centers. So you are always welcome to go and read up a little bit on your own. You don't have to remember much of what I'm saying here. It's all available. But the reason we're talking about it is just to point you in the right direction, just to sort of give you a pointer as to where to find this stuff. It's all on the website. Now, just to summarize, right, our left channel is responsible for feelings, our desires, and it is the channel that tends to take us to the past. So what you can notice is, if you notice your thoughts, what kind of thoughts you're having, whether your attention goes to the events of the past or it goes to the events of the future, you will be able to see, okay, which channel is the one that is trying to sort of overpower you a little bit. So if you notice, for example, that when you sit to meditate, you keep thinking about things that happened in the near past or far past or back in the childhood, that is an indication that your left channel is trying to overpower you a little bit, and it needs to be balanced. It needs to be cleared out a bit. So how do we do that? Now, we have this great video here, and it is one of our instructional videos. So if you go to our library on the website, you will see all these instructional videos, and this one is called Balancing the Channels. This might be called something else, actually, the video. But anyway, you can find it there. And this is how you balance a left channel. It's very simple. You keep your left hand open on your lap, and you place your right hand on the ground. Or if you're sitting on the chair, you can just have your right hand sort of hang towards the ground. At least this is how I usually do it when I sit on the chair. Now, the left channel, again, is the channel that has a tendency to become very cold, become frozen, right? So if you find that, okay, you're doing this, you're balancing your left channel like this, but still it is not helping you much, you can always place a candle in front of your left hand. So you have the left hand on your lap, you can always place a tall candle in front of it and have your left hand be sort of pointing towards the candle light. And often when we meditate, we will light a candle just to actually have that source of fire, and the fire has the capacity to balance our left channel and to clear out a lot of these sort of accumulated obstructions in the left channel. Now, when you feel the flow of energy on your hands, and most of you might already be feeling it because as far as I'm seeing, everybody who's here is pretty regular. So when you feel the flow of energy on your hands, whatever you feel on the left hand is the indication of what is happening in your left channel. So if you feel a lot of tingling feelings or a lot of heat in your left hand, that is an indication that your left channel needs balancing. If you feel a lot of tingling or heat in the right hand, then your right channel needs balancing. So if your left channel is relatively clean, right, and there is always layers and layers of things to clean out, but if your left channel is sufficiently clean for your energy to pass through without major obstructions, you will feel coolness in your left hand. So if you're feeling the flow of energy quite clearly in your hands, what you can experiment with anytime when you meditate is, if you sit to meditate, you open your hands and you feel, say, heat and tingling in your left hand, place your right hand towards the ground and ask your energy to balance your left channel and see whether your left hand actually becomes less hot and tingly, whether you start feeling coolness in your left hand. So that is something to try out and see how it works. And if you find that, okay, you're doing this, you've been doing this for a week every day for 5-10 minutes, right? And still your left hand is very hot and tingly, try using a candle and placing your left hand towards the candle while you're doing this balancing that you see on the screen. All right, so I think this is good enough for a sort of basic summary. And let's see, we probably will have some time at the end for Q&A if you have any questions. But in the meantime, let's just have our second meditation where we can try and balance our left channel together. So we can, again, sit comfortably, place both our hands open on our lap. We can take our right hand, place it on top of our head, Bring all of our attention to the top of our head. Can ask inner energy, please. Come into this energy center. Please bring me into the state of meditation. We can now lift our hand a little bit, 10, 15, maybe 20 centimeters. And that's something like probably 5 to 12 inches above your head. See whether we feel the flow of energy from the top of our head. And now place both of our hands open in front of us. Let's see whether we feel the flow of energy in our palms. In our fingertips, the center of our palm. Let's see whether we feel any difference between the right hand and the left hand. And our inner energy is a living energy, so we can always ask. And this energy is the motherly healing energy. And somehow this energy understands us. So we can always ask, inner energy, please show me the state of my left channel on my left hand. Inner energy, please let me feel the state of my left channel on my left hand, in my left palm. All right, now we can place our hand back on our lap, both hands. And now we will keep our left hand open on our lap, and we will place our right hand towards the ground if you're sitting on a chair, or if you're sitting on the floor, you can place it directly on the ground. And here we can ask our inner energy. Inner energy, please balance my left channel. Inner energy, please remove any obstacles, any obstructions from my left channel. Here we are using the earth element to balance and clear out our left channel. And let's see while we are doing this, whether we can keep our attention on top of our head. Inner energy, please remove any obstructions on my left channel. Please remove any damage that has been done to my left channel in the past. Please remove any negative emotions, any false ideas about myself. please remove any self-destructive habits. Inner energy, please remove all my fears. Please remove all guilt. And all other feelings that prevent me from becoming the best that I can be. Now we will keep like this with our left hand open on our lap and the right hand towards the ground or on the ground. And I'll play an audio track. And it's not an instrumental track, it's actually a song. And let's see whether this song helps our energy actually clear out our left channel more effectively. All right, now we can take our right hand and place it back on our lap. Let's actually place our right hand on top of our head again and ask our energy, inner energy, please come to the top of my head. Please bring my full attention to the top of my head. And please establish my attention here. Now we can lift our hand above our head, 10, 15, maybe 20 centimeters. Let's see whether we feel the flow of energy from our head. We might feel it as cool or warm breeze. Now we can place our right hand back on our lap. Now try with the left hand. So place the left hand above our head. Let's see whether we feel the flow of energy with our left hand. Now we can place both our hands open in front of us. Let's see whether we feel that flow of energy in our hands, in our fingertips. Now we can place both our hands back on our lap. We can bring our attention to our heart. If you want, you can place your right hand on your heart also. The heart is the main organ of our left channel. And let's see what is our inner state, what is our emotional state. All right, we can now place our hand back on our lap and slowly open our eyes. Now let's do this exercise of raising our energy again, all together. I'll play this video again.
Sit comfortably on a chair and relax. You may close your eyes if it helps you to relax and focus. Now, focus your attention on the top of your head. The goal is to raise your inner energy to the crown of your head and tie it up. As the energy rises up your spine, it will gradually shift your consciousness into the state of thoughtless awareness. To raise your inner energy, first place your left hand in front of your lower abdomen with your palm facing your body. Then slowly raise your left hand to the top of your head, and as your left hand is ascending, rotate your right hand around it in a clockwise direction, swirling around and around until both hands are above your head. Now, imagine that you are tying a knot with a short rope, and using both hands, perform the gesture of tying a knot above your head, as if you are actually tying up your inner energy. Now, lower both hands, and starting with your left palm facing your lower abdomen, repeat this process of raising the energy and tying the knot 3 times. The second time, tying 2 knots at the top of your head. The third time, tying 3 knots at the top of your head. This technique will help focus your attention and raise your inner energy to the crown chakra or energy center. The goal is to raise the energy, achieve a connection to the universal cosmic energy through your crown energy center, and establish the state of meditation. Now, you want to form a shield of protection to protect your subtle energy system and to preserve your ability to remain in the state of thoughtless awareness. First, place your left hand on your lap, palm upwards. Next, place your right hand beside your left hip. Slowly raise your right hand over your head and sweep it down the right side of your upper body. Then sweep your right hand back up the right side of your body, over your head, and down the left side of your body. Repeat sweeping your right hand up over your head and down 7 times to form a shield.
All right, so the reason we actually do this exercise again is that we want to actually stay in this state of meditation, at least partially. We want our energy to stay on top of our head as much as possible, as long as possible. Because when our energy is here and when our attention is here, this is when we are in balance and our system is continuously being charged with energy instead of spending energy, instead of wasting energy. So something I haven't mentioned yet about the left channel is that not only do we feel the whole left channel on our left hand, but also we feel the projections of the left sides of all our energy centers. So we have the numbers here, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So those are the projections of our energy centers. So on the left hand, we feel the projections of our energy centers, their left aspects. So all the energy centers, except energy center number 7, really, have the left aspects along the left channel. And those have slightly different qualities. And often those qualities have to do with the way that we treat ourselves. The right channel often has to do with the way we treat others, with the way that we act outwardly, the way we act in the public sphere. And the left channel has to do with how we are in our private lives, how we treat ourselves. Often that is the case. So now we still have a little bit of time for a few questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the Q&A and ask your questions. And I think what will happen is that I will try to type up the answers if that is possible. And the general sort of conclusion to today's session is see what it is that you feel when you meditate. Watch where your attention goes. If your attention goes a lot to the past, that means your left channel requires balancing. If you're feeling sluggish, if you're feeling lethargic, if you're feeling sad or depressed, if you're feeling cold all the time, that is an indication that your left channel is being exhausted. It needs to be balanced and it needs to be recharged through meditation. So you can balance your left channel like we did today. If that is not enough, use the candle light, meditate with the candle light, go outside in the sun, at least a little bit, you know, try to not be always inside, because the sun actually helps our left channel become a little bit, bring it a little bit more to the center. So if that is your tendency, if you always have the tendency of lethargic, self-defeating thoughts, feeling tired, feeling exhausted, feeling sad, depressed, then you need to actually go a little bit more outside and try to use your right side to actually act. That will bring your left side a little bit closer to the center. So these are the things. I have a question. Let's see, maybe I can actually. So there is a question here, right, about what happens, how can you help yourself if you're feeling very sad and very cold? Well, this is exactly how, right? So try and balance the left channel by placing the right hand on the ground, the left hand open on your lap. You can actually bring that slide again. And if that is not enough, you can actually, while you're doing this, just a second, let me pull this up. Okay. This is somewhere here. Right. Okay, so this is how we balance our left channel. So you see the right hand is on the ground, the left hand is open on your lap. So if you feel that that is not enough to bring you out of that feeling of sadness and being always tired and cold, you can place a candle in front of your left hand. So your left hand is on the lap, place a candle in front of it and see whether that helps. And if you can, try to go outside in the sunshine a little bit. Not to overdo it, of course, we don't want to overdo anything, but the light helps our left channel become a little bit closer to the center. So if we are a kind of a person that tends to slide into the left side, now another thing also that we can do is try to actually, when you meditate, to not engage in the self-defeating thoughts. When you see that your thoughts are going into that self-defeating mode, stop them, tell them, no, I'm not like this. I'm not going to slide into that mode. Have a 1-minute meditation where you just bring your attention inside, bring your attention to the top of your head, right? And see whether you can actually stay in the center. You can always ask your own energy for help. The energy is there to help us, but sometimes we need to ask. And really nourishing our desire to become better, nourishing our desire to be balanced, to be centered, to be helpful, right? To be as much as we can of a person, well-rounded person, and to be connected to the universal energy. That is something that helps to take us out from that tendency to become left-sided, we call it. So the tendency of our left channel to be going to the extreme instead of being close to the center. So these are sort of basic things, but let's see in these sessions whether we will can learn little things that we can do to actually help this, right? So you can try for a week and see what happens, right? See whether that solution helps for you. I hope that answer was helpful. And if there is anything more, please do ask. And otherwise, our time is up. So thank you very much for joining us today. And we will see you next week. And next week we will have a different topic. Haven't decided yet what, but let's see. Maybe it's going to be a good surprise. So see you all next time. Thank you.